Salt. You know, it's in practically everything we cook with, but have you ever really thought about how many different kinds of salt there are?
Yeah. It's kind of amazing, right? You go from that basic table salt to all this.
Like a whole world of salt out there.
Seriously. And they each have, like, their own stories.
Okay, I'm intrigued. So for today's deep dive, we're ditching that plain old table salt and getting into the good stuff.
Yeah.
From bright colors to, like, delicate flakes. You know, there's so much more to salt than meets the eye.
It's true. And it's not just about being trendy.
No.
These different salts, they can really change your cooking, like really elevate it.
All right, you've convinced me. Let's start with one that always catches my eye at the store. Himalayan pink salt.
Ah, yes.
Like a sunset in a salt shaker.
Mm-hmm.
So, what makes it so pink?
That gorgeous color. It all comes down to, trace minerals, especially iron.
Huh.
They mine this salt from these ancient seabeds in Pakistan.
Really?
Yeah.
Millions of years old.
Wow.
Yeah.
Talk about, like, literally adding a touch of history to your food, right?
Yeah. That's one way to put it.
I've even seen people use it in, like, bath soaks and stuff.
Oh, yeah. I haven't tried that.
Have you not?
I always say, take those supposed health benefits with a grain of salt, no pun intended. But as a finishing salt, Himalayan pink salt is amazing. The flavor is delicate, kind of minerally, and that color just makes everything pop.
It really does. Okay, next up on our salt adventure. Sea salt.
A classic.
The OG, it just makes me think of those, like, beautiful windswept beaches.
You can practically taste the ocean, right? Harvested straight from evaporated seawater, coarse texture, that clean, briny flavor.
So, dumb question maybe,
Okay.
but, like, does where it comes from affect the taste?
It absolutely does. Just like with wine, it's all about that terroir.
The terroir.
The environment where it's produced. Big impact on the taste.
So, like, a sea salt from France would taste different from one from, say, England.
Exactly. Take Malden sea salt, for example. From the coast of England, distinctive pyramid crystals. And it has this, like, clean, almost sweet paste. All because of the minerals in that specific spot.
That's incredible. The things you learn. Okay, let's get a little fancy now. Time for fleur de sel.
Ah, yes.
Flower of salt.
It sounds so elegant. I'll be honest, those tiny crystals kind of intimidate me.
They're definitely special. Hand-harvested, from the coasts of France.
Yeah.
Delicate, flaky, subtle flavor. Little goes a long way.
I can see why they call it the caviar of salts.
Right.
Okay, from fancy French salt to something I use every day, kosher salt.
Ah, kitchen staple.
Seriously, I use it for everything. What makes those big, coarse crystals so special?
Well, for starters, they're great for, like, just about anything. Seasoning meat, baking. And the name kosher actually comes from how it was traditionally used to cure meat. Koshering, it's called.
I actually don't know what that means. So basically, they soak meat in salt water to draw out the blood, right? And kosher salt, those big crystals, they don't dissolve too fast, so it's perfect for that. More control.
Wow. You learn something new every day. Okay, I'm ready for something dramatic now. Black lava salt.
Ooh, yeah.
I'll admit, I mostly bought it for the color,
Me too.
but it's not just about looks.
Right.
Yeah.
So that striking black color, it comes from activated charcoal, which some people say has health benefits.
Definitely always do your research, listeners.
Yeah.
But no denying it looks cool on, well, anything.
Totally. And last but not least, let's fire up the grill and talk about smoke-a-salt.
Now, that's a crowd pleaser.
Yeah.
That smoky smell, it just screams summer barbecue. What gives it that flavor?
Well, the name kind of gives it away, right? They smoke it over wood fire.
So, like, different woods, different flavors.
Finch, rose, hickory, mesquite, applewood, just like with barbecue, each one brings something unique.
So we talking, like, hickory smoked salt on, I don't know, grilled corn, applewood on ribs.
See, you're getting it. Hickory's got that classic, robust, bacon-y thing going on. Applewood's milder, bit of sweetness.
Okay, stop. I'm getting hungry. Grilled peaches with, like, a sprinkle of applewood smoked salt.
See? Endless possibilities.
That's actually a really good point. It's not just about making things salty. It's about the flavor.
Yeah.
Like you were saying before.
Exactly. Every salt has its own story to tell.
And it can completely change how you think about cooking.
100%.
I'm realizing I've really been stuck in a rut with my salt. Like, kosher salt, that's my go-to. Who knew?
It's easy to do. We get comfortable.
Right.
But that's what's so cool about, these deep dives, right? Opens your eyes to stuff you never even thought about, even something as basic as salt,
Totally. So we were talking about terroir with sea salt, but are there other salts where it comes from, like, really changes how it tastes.
Oh, absolutely. Think about volcanic areas, for example.
Okay.
Hawaiian lea salt. Ever tried that?
I don't think so.
It's got this reddish color. And the flavor, kind of salty, a little earthy, and that's because they mix it with volcanic clay. Been doing it that way for, like, centuries.
Wow. So you're really tasting like the history of the island in that salt.
Exactly.
That's amazing. Okay, what about smoke salts? We were talking about different woods, different flavors. Like, what are some examples?
Sure. So hickory smoked salt,
Okay.
right? You got that classic barbecue flavor, strong, bacony.
Oh, yeah.
And then on the other hand, applewood smoked, much milder, a hint of sweetness.
Okay, you had me applewood smoked
Right.
on like grilled peaches.
Right.
Game changer.
And, it brings up a good point. We talk about flavor, but the texture of salt,
Yeah.
just as important.
Oh, for sure. Like flaky sea salt on, I don't know, a piece of fish.
Exactly.
Or even like,
What?
okay, this is going to sound weird, but flaky sea salt on a chocolate chip cookie.
Right.
It adds something,
Totally. A little crunch, a burst of saltiness.
Yes. Okay, see, this is what I'm talking about. I usually just grab whatever's closest, but I need to be thinking about this more.
Exactly. It's about, that perfect match for your dish.
All right.
Now, we've talked a lot about finishing salts. Those are fun. But what about just everyday cooking?
Yeah, that's a good question. When you're not trying to get fancy, just season something.
Kosher salt, honestly, your best friend.
Really?
Those coarser grains, easy to sprinkle, dissolves fast, important for even seasoning.
Makes sense.
And a lot of bakers prefer it too. Purer flavor than some table salts.
Oh, right, because of the additives?
Exactly.
Huh. It's like you have to think about what's not in your food, too.
100%. Being a more thoughtful cook, it's about really understanding your ingredients. Which, speaking of,
Yeah.
we get this question a lot.
People are always talking about, like, the health benefits of different salts.
Yeah.
Is there really anything to that?
It's definitely something people wonder about. And honestly, it's good to be, a little skeptical.
Yeah, for sure. Like, is pink salt actually healthier?
So different salts do have different minerals, right? That's true.
But it's easy to get caught up in the hype.
Totally. Here's the thing. Salt is salt at the end of the day. Its main job, make food taste better and, help preserve it.
Right, right.
Some types might have a few more minerals than others,
Uh-huh.
but no salt is like a magic health cure.
Okay, that makes sense.
It's much more about your diet overall, healthy lifestyle. Way bigger impact than any type of salt.
So I don't need to, like, ditch my multivitamin and just lick a Himalayan salt lamp.
Probably not.
Okay, good to know.
Enjoy all the different flavors. Have fun with it. It's about, making your food taste amazing.
Yeah.
That's what matters, not tiny mineral differences.
Exactly. It shouldn't be stressful, right?
Exactly.
Awesome. So I think the big takeaway here is
What?
don't just grab the same old salt out of habit. Think about what you're cooking.
Yes.
What flavors do you want to bring out?
100%.
Smoked salt on those roasted vegetables? Fleurs sell on? I don't know. Chocolate mousse?
There you go. Get creative.
I love it. This has been so eye-opening.
It's a whole world out there.
Seriously. From like salt newbie to, I don't know, salt pro.
I think you've graduated.
Right. So listeners, we want to hear from you. What salt are you going to try? What are you going to make? Let us know. Your salt journey is just beginning.